Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about what happens when an appraisal comes in low. This is February of 2021. This happens to be a very, very interesting market, very reminiscent of about 2005, if you guys remember that time period, where we're making multiple offers. The sellers are absolutely driving this market, and things are kind of nuts, to be just quite frank and polite about it. And so what's happening is that, let's just say in this example, the asking price is $300,000. You're having to go well above the asking price even to get your offer looked at. Let's say now it's $320,000. You get it under contract, you go out, you do your inspections, you get the appraisal back, and you're like, dang it, my paycheck just got cut at least, but the appraised value came in at $290,000. And you're sitting there like, how the heck am I gonna bridge this $30,000 gap? It is going to be tough. And let me tell you your options. Number one, you can cancel. In most states, in most contracts, there's going to be some sort of appraisal contingency in there. So if that thing comes in super low, then you can actually just walk away, you get your earnest money back, seller can put that house back in the market and see if they can fish for another buyer. The other option is you can renegotiate the contract price down to the appraised value. And then the third option is you can go somewhere in between. And so understanding that the market shifts on a day-to-day basis, we don't have a lot of leverage, especially if you're going to use a loan like an FHA loan or a VA loan, and I'll explain why here in just a second. So I want to point out one other thing too. The asking price is literally just a relative number. And every year, there's always like one or two agents that get very creative and they just, they want to list a house for $1. Or you have a seller that's just like, put it in the MLS for $1, and just start a bidding war and see what happens. And so, that's kind of interesting too, because the asking price really is very, very irrelevant and have any impact at all on the appraised value. The appraisers are only going to look at the closed comps. They're not going to look at anything that's pending or anything that is active and not under contract, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you can't use those comps. So the data that the appraisers use is generally about 60 days old. And what I mean by that is that, let's say that, this is February 2021. Anything that's closed in January really originated back in December, about 60 days ago. And so there's a gap there. There's always that time gap between the appraised value and maybe what the market value really is, especially in a very, very escalating market where the home appreciation levels are in the double digits, 10%, 12%, 15%, 20%, like we saw in Phoenix. And so it's very difficult to get an appraiser to say, hey, look, yes, the appraised value was $290 maybe back in December, but now it's $320,000. It's gonna be tough to make that adjustment. And so appraisers are very, very conservative by nature, and understandably so. So now that we know the options are, let's just say, what is the worst case scenario? Let's just say that the seller doesn't want to come down. They're going to stick you for the full contract amount of $320,000. What happens? Well, FHA loan, we know that we can finance up to 96.5% of the appraised value. It has nothing to do with the asking price, has nothing to do with the contract price. It's the appraisal that's going to be a limiting factor here. And so, if we said that, hey, the appraisal came in at $290, we take 96.5% of that. The maximum loan amount that we can do here is $279,850. That is a very, very big gap. Now the new cash to close is $40,150. When I think, if I do my math correctly, 320,000 by 3.5%, 11,200. Somebody correct my math on that if I'm wrong. They were expecting to bring in 11,200. Now you can say, hey, you got to bring in another 29,000 bucks. That's going to be a difficult phone call. And so, go back through your options, see if you can negotiate that contract price down to somewhere close by the appraised value. If they can't get a gift or they can't pull it out of the 401k or IRA or something like that, then it's going to be a very, very difficult bridge to gap. And so that's it for today. Hey guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will absolutely get right back to you. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. That means a lot to me. And I will see you very, very soon. See you guys. Take care.